It's 5 o'clock. Take time to be safe. Don't text and drive. A reminder from HendrickCars.com.
The gavel will drop at the General Assembly at noon tomorrow. Lawmakers are headed back to the capital city for a special session. The reason for the last-minute meeting that could impact the November elections. A Raleigh man faces a $5 million bond. Police say it's because of what this 52-year-old did to a child for years. We were in the courtroom as he went before the judge for the first time. A robbery suspect wearing a hockey mask. It's just one of the details investigators hope will lead to an arrest. It comes after a string of early morning robberies at 2 Triangle drugstores. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News. I'm Tara Hershef. We'll have much more on those stories in just a bit. But first, heavy rainfall hovers over our area. This is a look at the showers Monday afternoon, but sunshine is in the future. Meteorologist Vernon Turner has a look at your latest Weather on the One's forecast.
Isolated storms continue to slowly move northwest radar. You can see that coverage of rainfall greater to our west. Charlotte's getting hammered with rainfall right now.
Your traffic from the Leaf Auto Park Honda Traffic Center.
New developments to a story we first broke this afternoon here on Spectrum News. State lawmakers gear up for yet another special session, this time to address wording on amendments expected on the November ballot. Our Spectrum News reporter Amy Elliott joins us now from the General Assembly with the latest details. And Amy, what have you learned?
Well, Tara, we first heard about the idea of this special session on Saturday. That's when our own senior political reporter Loretta Beniti broke this story about Rules Chairman David Lewis requesting this special session. As you now just mentioned, we now know that special session is taking place with no time to waste. Lawmakers are returning here to the General Assembly in less than 24 hours.
State lawmakers voted on a number of constitutional amendments during the short session. Over the weekend, House Rules Chairman David Lewis wrote a letter to the House Speaker requesting they return to discuss the language that could be used about amendments on the November ballot.
What we are coming back to do is to make sure that we spell out through the legislation what specifically state what this legislation would do, what the amendment does.
State law dictates a 3-person commission made up of the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and the Legislative Services Officer to decide how those amendments are labeled on the ballots for voters. However, Representative Lewis says he is concerned this commission may be influenced by outside groups.
It was something that this commission would simply go in and take the intent of the legislature and place it on the ballot in a fair and open, nonpartisan way.
The swiftness of the decision to come back into session is already rubbing several lawmakers the wrong way.
We adjourned less than 30 days ago with the idea that we were coming back November 27th. There's no need for a special session at this time to work on captions and bullet points. And I can't help but believe that they've been working on them already.
Now, I did talk to Speaker Moore a little bit earlier today. He says he expects this to just be a one-day session. Now, if you want to see that full interview, that will play at 7 o'clock tonight on Capitol Tonight, so you won't want to miss that. For now, reporting live from the General Assembly, Amy Elliott, Spectrum News.
Thanks, Amir, for that update. New at 5, a Triangle man sits on a $5 million bond after police say he raped a child over nearly a 5-year period. Paul Lee Dwyer faced a judge at the Wake County Justice Center today, and that's where we find Spectrum News reporter Ian Dembling live with the latest in this investigation. And Ian, what happened?
Tara, our cameras were in the courtroom as the 52-year-old Raleigh man approached the bench. The judge told him that the multiple sexual assaults he is accused of could land him in prison for life. Now, the sheriff's office arrested Dwyer over the weekend. According to his arrest report, the victim was no older than 13 years old at the time of the alleged sexual assaults, which date back to February of 2011 and last until December of 2015. The arrest record shows Dwyer lives in a mobile home near farmland in southeast Raleigh. When we showed up at his house today, we saw a truck in the driveway. We knocked on the door, but no one answered. Now, when asked in court how he will be defended when on trial, Dwyer requested a court-appointed attorney. The next time he will be here at the courthouse will be on August 13th. For now, reporting at the Wake County Justice Center, Ian Dembling, Spectrum News.
2 Triangle area CVSs are robbed early Monday morning. Police say 3 suspects walked into the store on Landmark Drive off of Lake Boone Trail in Raleigh just after 3 a.m. and demanded money, then took off. 2 employees were in the store at the time, but neither one was hurt. Now here's a look at surveillance photos of the 3 thieves. 2 used hoodies to cover their faces. A third, as you can see in the middle, wore a hockey mask. Call Raleigh Crime Stoppers if you have any information that could help with this investigation. In Chapel Hill, police are also looking for 3 suspects who robbed a CVS there. It was another early morning robbery. Officers were called to the corner of Fordham Boulevard and Ephesus Church Road around 2:30 Monday morning. Witnesses say one of the suspects was wearing a mask and 2 were armed with guns. K-9 officers led police to the area of University Inn where they believe the suspects ran to, but the trail went cold after that. Chapel Hill police were asking for help and to call Crime Stoppers at 919-942-7515 if you have any information. We've reached out to both Raleigh and Chapel Hill police to see if these 2 crimes with several similarities are in fact connected. Police are investigating after a McDonald's employee is robbed at gunpoint Sunday morning in Wake Forest. It happened around 3:30 at the McDonald's on Forestville Road. The employee told police that a man wearing all black forced her inside the store with a gun as she was opening the door. She also tells police the suspect forced her to open the safe and withdraw money. Police say the employee was not harmed and called 911 after the thief took off running. Anyone with information about this incident is asked to call police.
Durham County hosted its annual Mental Health Summit for Veterans Monday. They talked about stopping PTSD and other symptoms such as suicidal thoughts. Organizers say the goal is for the VA system to partner with medical providers to combat this problem. They also talked about yoga and Tai Chi.
I think we're learning every day about new and better treatments. We understand more about the medications that are available, but more importantly, we understand about the whole variety of things that veterans and other people with PTSD need to live full lives.
The VA states that the percentage of veterans suffering from PTSD ranges between 11 and 20%. Much of it depends upon when they served in the military.
It's the first day back to school for hundreds of year-round Cumberland County school students. And to kick things off, new Superintendent Marvin Connolly Jr. visited all 3 of the year-round schools in Fayetteville. Our Spectrum News reporter Jared Thompson was at the tour and shows us what the day was all about.
Have a great day, okay? All right.
It's the first day back to school for hundreds of students at year-round schools in Cumberland County. And cheering them on is the new superintendent, Dr. Marvin Connolly Jr.
It's exciting times in Cumberland County schools. This morning we're at E.E. Miller Elementary School.
Dr. Connolly is a former paratrooper who's replacing Frank Till Jr. And for Connolly, it was his chance to meet many parents and students while hearing some of their concerns.
I hope that they don't ever try to switch us out of year-round again. And that's what happened with the last superintendent. So for us, that's important.
There you go, buddy. Take your time. Step up. There you go. There you go.
One of Connolly's first tasks is getting extra security in the schools.
This year, we focused this summer on security enhancements at all of our elementary schools. So we've done upgrades to all the elementary school campuses. And during the school year this year, we'll be upgrading security enhancements at middle and high schools as well.
That means all visitors must be buzzed in at the main entrance of the school.
It works for the students, not just for the parents, it works for the students as a whole.
With year-round school in session, drivers, that means you'll see more than a dozen buses on the road. So that means pay careful attention as you're passing those buses with the stop arms extended. Remember, traditional school here in Cumberland County starts on Monday, August 27th. In Fayetteville, Jared Thompson, Spectrum News.
It's 11 minutes after the hour. Time now for a check of your 3-day forecast with meteorologist Vernon Turner.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Vernon Turner with your weather on the Ones forecast.
Your traffic from the Leaf Auto Park Honda Traffic Center.
A recent coyote sighting reported on the Nextdoor app has residents in one Raleigh neighborhood on high alert. A neighbor says she spotted one that ran in front of her car and then stood on the curb near the South Hall subdivision. The Wake County Animal Center says they'll only respond if the coyote appears to have rabies. Nuisance coyotes should be reported to the NC Wildlife Resources Commission. Those with children and pets worried the coyote could become aggressive.
We have had it in times where we would do some kind of trail walk behind the house. That's with the older kids, but now we're going to have to stay mostly in the front of the yard and make sure that they don't get too close to the woods.
If you do see a coyote, don't run away. The NC Wildlife Resource Commission says to stand tall and be assertive by waving your arms and making loud noises. Typically, coyotes do not approach humans. Still ahead on Spectrum News, the town of Princeton is in cleanup mode after a severe storm ripped through that area. A look at the extensive damage and how neighbors are recovering. Durham is working to provide better mental health resources for veterans. We talk with one to learn just how much it's needed.